For the sports show, good to be chatting with Jenna Allen, the League Secretary for North Central Netball. How's it going, Jenna?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Great to have you with us. And look, we've got an exciting round of games as we get to the pointier end of the season. Where should we start? Should we start with Donald versus Wishaproof?
We can start there.
How did these teams go last week? Looks like Donald had a pretty close one in their last match.
Donald did have a close one last week. So Donald is sitting sort of down the south end of the ladder, which they won't be enjoying. But they're coming along really nicely with some of their younger girls. They've got a really good mix of youth and experience in their A grade and B grade sides. But those younger girls in A grade, Addie Funk had a debut, I understand, on the weekend, and looking at the score sheet, shot a remarkable amount of goals for a really young girl who's just making her way up the ranks. She played rep netball this year, and she's being supported and mentored by some terrific leaders at Donald. So it was great. Donald got within 3 goals, and it was close all game. So congratulations to Donald. Unlucky, they'd be very disappointed that they got that close and didn't get the win over Charlton.
Yep, they're being very diplomatic there because they're up against your mob this weekend, and this is a big game, isn't it, really? Because it really shapes maybe, yours and possibly Donald's tilt at the finals.
It does, yeah. We sort of had written Donald off, but then you really can't ever write Donald off. They've always got something stashed away. So we're at home to Donald. Donald's the only club that play indoors. So sort of, it's a different game. It's a faster paced game in the stadium. So we're really looking forward to it. I think we can match them, and we're really keen after coming close last weekend to Bort. We're keen to get a win this weekend.
Absolutely. Could I call this the match of the round? Birdchip playing Charlton. I mean, that's 5th versus 2nd.
It is, but they're so tight. Everyone in that comp is so tight. So a really exciting game. They both play very different style of game. Charlton heavily reliant on the reach and accuracy of Chloe Walsh, whereas Birdchip are a little bit unknown in their goals. They've had a few rotations in that goaling circle this year, and Maddie Marks is playing some really, really outstanding netball. She has to be pulling some boats with the games that she's had so far. So exciting to see what can happen in this game. Birdchip could very easily cause an upset here. What
role does last round's games play in this one? I mean, Charlton had that big hit out against Donald, whereas, we'll talk about St Arnaud in a minute. Birdchip Watcham had a fairly easy run last week. Does that mean they might come in maybe not as well prepared as Charlton does?
Or potentially Charlton have had a few really close games, which at the moment, in the midst of COVID and illnesses and people sort of suffering a few injuries here and there and coming in and out, can also make for a pretty fatigued team. So who really knows? Like, Birdchip did have a relatively easy match against a struggling St Arnaud. So it could very well be that Birdchip are the ones that get over the line at the end of the match if it is close. But Charlton have got Maddie Fitz back after an injury, and she's providing them some confidence in the centre. So to be honest, I think Charlton will win, but I think it'll be close.
All right, well, we will get to St Arnaud because I want to talk about Weatherburn and Bort. That is 1st versus 3rd. This is at Bort, but you were talking about ins and outs from teams. It seems like Weatherburn, nothing seems to shake their tilt at the flag.
No, it doesn't. They are outstanding. Okay, I probably rave on about it too much, but they're a very, very strong outfit, and I think we're all striving to to really try and work out what elements of their game we can break up, different A-grade sides. But to me, this will be probably match of the round. Bort have got a couple out at the moment, but when it counts, and we've seen it firsthand last weekend, when it counts, their on-court leaders, particularly in Georgia Sheehan, always stand up. She's always willing to put a body on the line. She'll always chase those balls that are needed. They've got some really exciting youth coming through. So I think they're the ones to get the job done if it's going to happen this year, if someone's going to overcome Weatherburn. I think Weatherburn will be too strong this week after a few of them have been a bit rested chasing some sun last weekend. So I would suggest Weatherburn will come back in full force.
Well, they've put 77 goals past Celek and Daly last weekend. Last time they met, last encounter. Is there a goal scoring machine or two there, or are they sharing that load around?
Oh, it's unbelievable. They're all goal-scoring machines. This is the thing. With a few out last weekend, they're still able to substitute really easily. So popping the likes of a Laurel Weston or a Laurel Prowse as she is now from B grade centre back up into A grade seamlessly. Just the calibre of their depth of talent across their 3 senior grades is really impressive. But Olivia Lockhart and Eliza Lockhart, the twin girls sitting at wing defence and goal attack, provide them with a huge injection of youth and energy that, is only strengthening their already very strong team. So the Shelley DeRouge in goal shooter for them is very impressive to watch. She's a terrific goaler, and she's clean, and she's got a really good appreciation for who she's working with and how to get around her defenders cleanly.
Well, speaking of youth and energy, I'm trying to talk up St Arnaud here. They've got the home game against Celek and Daly. Both teams coming off of heavy losses last week. Could we see an upset?
No, we won't. No. I think Celek will be disappointed in their scoreline against Weatherburn. They went in knowing that Weatherburn had a few out and it was potentially a new team, and they'll be disappointed with their scoreline from last weekend. But I don't think St Arnaud have the combination or the experience yet. They're building and they're improving, but Celek need to they're relying on this win on the weekend to keep their spot in at 4th.
Yeah, well, as you say, there's sort of, 4 wins between, say, Donald in 7th place and Bort in 3rd, and only 4 weeks after this one, 5 games left in the season. So a lot of movement could happen in that North Central Netball ladder between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's great. And just as I said, everyone's sort of trying to juggle players and COVID and illness and people away and all that sort of thing. So it is really exciting. It's going to come very much down to the last round, which is really good. It's great to have netball back. It's just we need to just remember what it was this time last year and how frustrating it was and how great it is that we get to go out and play again.
Yeah, it's an excellent point and a good one to finish on. Fantastic. We can even finish a season. We'll keep our fingers crossed that that's definitely what happens. Jenna Allen, thanks so much for joining us for North Central Netball.
No worries.